Welcome to this edition of Recordings of the Month. Here, we recommend recordings that our audio reviewers have enjoyed. They may be new recordings or older recordings that we've recently discovered. Sometimes, the recordings our reviewers have come to appreciate more and more as they use them in their audio review work.
I'm Alan Perkins, lead analog designer for Mofi Electronics, and this is the new Master DAC. What does the turntable sound like? Really nothing. It's a table with a very, very low noise floor, really no background noise. You forget wondering if the speed's stable because it's so stable. You're just listening to the music and enjoying it, and I think the purest form you're going to hear.
Stephen Stone recommends the Band of Heathens, Top Hat Crown, and the Clapmaster's Son. He says, sometimes you need some rock and roll. When that need arises, the Band of Heathens can deliver. The opening cut, Medicine Man, sets the mood for the album. With references to Juju and Mojo Teeth, this tune drips with kudzu. Polaroid is my favorite cut on the album, with lots of references to old photo technology, and the chorus Comfort Me When I'm in Need. Sonically, this album is solid, with fine imaging, harmonic balance, and killer guitar tone. Andrew Quint recommends Wagner, arranged by Henk de Vlieger, Parsifal, an orchestral quest. This is with the Royal Scottish National Orchestra with Neem Jarvi as conductor. It's on Chandos in SACD or on Qobuz in standard 1644 format. 143 years after his death, the music of Richard Wagner remains problematic for many listeners. Apart from all the socio-political baggage associated with the composer, he's known entirely for his operas, and not everyone likes opera. Not even the short, funny Italian ones, and much less the long, serious German ones. The thing is, there's a lot of wonderful, readily accessible late Romantic music in the 10 Wagner stage works that are frequently performed nowadays, and the trick is how to experience that music without sitting for 4 hours in a darkened theater or in front of your stereo. Excerpts, stuff like The Ride of the Valkyries or Siegfried's Funeral March, sometimes called bleeding chunks, are often recorded, but out of context, the music can seem overly melodramatic. Much better are longer, continuous arrangements of the music, the best known of which are the symphonic syntheses by Leopold Stokowski. 4 such scores created more recently by Henk de Vlieger, a percussionist, believe it or not, with a Dutch orchestra, have been widely performed and recorded. There's no singing, and each work, there's music from The Ring, Tristan and Isolde, De Meistersinger, and Parsifal, runs 45 to 60 minutes. Neem Jarvi has recorded all 4 with the Scottish National Orchestra for the Chandos label. The interpretations are inspired and the sound is sumptuous. Start with Parsifal, an orchestral quest, and you get an idea of why Wagner's music has remained so powerfully influential for all these years. I have 2 recommendations. The first is Doggenville. Sorry about the mispronunciation. I have no idea what it is in Swedish. From Sweden's Liv Andrea Hög Trio on Hubro in 1644 format. This is so-called contemporary jazz, but it has enough twists and turns to make it interesting rather than a dumbed-down rehash of traditional jazz ideas, which it most certainly is not. Solid musicianship and a good recording add to the enticements here. Then, I also recommend the new Henry Threadgill recording, Listenship, on Pi Recordings in 24-bit 88K format. Threadgill is a composer, at least in this case, and he gets slotted into the jazz box, but I'd say this work has the feeling of 20th century classical as much as jazz. Anyway, it's different, and I encourage you to hear it for its distinctiveness and because I found that it worked really well despite not fitting my preconceptions. This is a work for 4 guitars, 2 basses, and 2 pianos. That orchestration alone should give you an idea that this isn't standard fare. The recording is quite good, and the dynamics are at times astonishing. I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Recordings of the Month. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again soon.